Yeah, hi everyone. This is Krishna.
Hi, Krishna.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome. Yeah.
Lakshmi, when let us know when we can start. We'll start the session accordingly.
Yeah, Chitana Garu, you can start. Okay, others also will be joining. We have few more. Okay, and they also will connect. Okay, few people will connect little late, maybe after 5 minutes or so.
No problem.
Please, you can start. Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Right. I hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Yep.
And get it.
Yes, we can.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Thank you very much. I would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are. I wish a good day for you. So today is the first session of artificial intelligence with generative AI. I have a presentation and I have something to show quickly to get into the subject. So this particular course would be yeah, so request everyone to go on mute if you guys are not speaking. Lakshmi Garu, if there is an option of muting everybody else, could you check that? Okay, so so today we'll do a session for an hour or so. I'll try to keep it very generic at this moment, but this course itself is a very practical one, so it will require us to delve into more practical concepts and
We can't hear you.
We lost you.
yeah, I think there was a little blip. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, great. So, so what I was saying is, this course would be a practical course where we'll try to understand more in details about how this entire space of AI is revolutionizing the world, the applications it is bringing into, and how oneself should equip ourselves to understand how I can create more practical applications using the tools which we'll learn in the course. Just to talk about myself, my name is Sitaram. I have close to 20 years of experience. I've been technologist throughout my life. I lead I lead an ML engineering group for a large banking corporation as a senior vice president. But teaching is my hobby, or you could say like it is my forte. I love to go for conferences. I speak at large events, and I'm also part of some of the leaders councils within a lot of analytics organizations. And from a educational background, I did my master's in data analytics from BITS Pilani. I'm currently pursuing my PhD from two institutes. One is IIIT Hyderabad. I'm doing a PhD in AI ethics, fairness, and privacy. And I'm also doing a doctorate in business administration, again specialization in AI. Okay, so you will know more about me as we go deeper into the course, but I want to rightly jump into the course and let us see what's in action. Okay, I hope you are able to see my Chrome page, and there is some workflow. Are you able to see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So generally these demos, the way it happens is that there will be a presentation where we will try to talk about, what we are going to learn in the course and all that stuff. But my style is completely different. I want to get into the deep core of it. We want to understand what we are going to discover in this course, and then how everybody has to commit themselves for the next 2 months. Whoever wish to join with me in this journey, they have to commit next 2 months, give at least 5 to 6 hours every week for getting themselves equipped for the next big leap they are going to take. So I promise you that if you commit me 2 months, it will be little 2 months and above. But if you promise me that you commit me 2 months, I will ensure that you guys are taking the next big leap. So without any further ado, I just wanted to show. Yesterday night I was building this application. Now this is a bot which is using generative AI. And then the purpose of this bot, we quickly created a demo. We wanted to give it to one of our primary hospitals. Now they wanted to use generative AI and agents. Now, forget about all these terms. Just listen to me that, okay, there is some requirement. We want to create a chatbot. We want to use the latest technology. We want to use something called as agents, which can intelligently take decisions and do some actions based on the inputs, and these inputs are in natural language processing. And nowadays, if I say like 5 years back, we had to write a lot of code for doing this. Because if I say like I want to consult a doctor, right? So this is for hospital. So if I say I want to consult a doctor, then first it needs to understand what is the intent I am trying to express. Is it like consulting doctor, wanted to book an appointment, book a flight, or just asking a regular question? So 5 years back, if you ask me, this entire process used to be very, very tedious. We have to put a lot of coding, we have to put a lot of brain into it, understand different scenarios, and then come and arrive at doing something like this. But I spend maybe like 15-20 minutes to create this workflow. I'll go through the workflow, but I'll quickly show you what is it trying to do. It tries to do something like booking an appointment for a doctor. So I'll do a quick run. So it starts with a flow. It gives a greeting saying that, okay, welcome to Tata Hospitals. I'll help you to schedule a meeting with Dr. Sai Kumar. Now, who is Dr. Sai Kumar? Don't ask me. It's a fictitious name. I just made it up. So what it also does is, it is trying to retrieve the current date and time. Now this is the current date and time, which is according to the America Toronto time. So it says that Friday, it is Friday, then 28th of February, which I presume it is correct. And it is also asking what would you like to book? When do you like to book your appointment? Now I am giving the input in a very text-based format. I can say that I am free tomorrow. Can I book an appointment? Okay, I'm also giving some spell mistakes, so please excuse me. But no, this is a test case, so I'm just showing you what is happening. So once I give I'm free tomorrow, can I book an appointment? Then what it does is it calls the APIs of the ChatGPT. Now this is integrated with an OpenAI model in the backend. We will not go into technical details, we'll understand everything, but what I'm showing is like it is trying to get to a model which is already existing. I have plugged it with an API of OpenAI ChatGPT. It is calling 3.5 Turbo, and then it is coming up with an output saying that we have availability at 9 a.m., 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. on March 1st. So that is an availability. Now, this particular application can also be plugged to an existing API. Now, if you ask me, there is an existing API which tries to schedule a calendar. It tries to get me the actual availability dates of a doctor. That can be plugged, and using the natural language interface, I will be able to understand the text which is coming in as an input, and then try to convert that to an API call, get the actual availability dates, and then can provide me the information. Now, this is a fictitious data, but it can be converted to an API call, which basically does a call to an actual database, get me the data, and then do the booking. So now I say, okay, I am free at 1 p.m. Would you help me book that time? Okay. So I'm saying I'm free at 1 p.m. Could you help me book that time? So I'm writing everything is natural language text, okay? And then it basically understands. Now, if I again go into the call trace, it is basically calling different APIs. Forget about it. What it is doing, it is identifying how many tokens we need to pass, how many tokens the answer would contain, which model to call. And then finally, also understanding that the selected time. So I've selected 1 p.m., right? So I've selected time is 1 p.m., which translates into this 2025-0301, 1st March, and 13 hours. Okay, so it understood that. So it basically, if you're looking at this workflow, it has understood that, okay, this is good. I have able to summarize. I also got the time in which I would like to do the booking. I have extracted the selected time appropriately from the entire information. Now I got the selected time. Now I need to capture few more informations. Now I would like to have the name. I would like to have the email address so that I can do the booking. Okay, so I say, well, thanks. Thanks. My name is Mahesh Kumar. Again, this is, or let me put Mahesh Babu. Yeah, Mahesh Babu, and my email is cooldude@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm just saying this, and then again it calls. So again, from this, it has to extract what is my name and what is my email address, so that it can send it can schedule my booking and then send a confirmation email to cooldude@gmail.com. Right now, this is a very simple bot, but if you see the flow, it can do a lot of things. Now, once it has confirmed my email, I can plug in another agent. Now, it is called as an agent. This year, it is going to be the year of agents. If you have heard from Sundar Pichai, or if you have heard from Prime Minister of India, they are speaking about generative AI and agents. So this year is going to be the year of agents, where the agent will understand natural language text. It can extract the information like this. So it is clearly able to extract the email. It is clearly able to extract the name, and then it can call an agent, which basically will do the booking. It can do the booking, and then it can do something else also. It can send an email. It can do all that stuff, right?
I do have a question, Mahesh. I mean, if I'm not interrupting you and all that stuff. So what's this whole workflow that you're talking about? Like, how did you create that? Like, did you create that using, some third party
Yeah. So I'm just
thing,
giving this as an
and
example, right? So
use,
this is like a trailer,
ChatGPT?
right? So we'll understand all those things. Now, this is a very simple plug and play workflow.
No, I mean, you make it sound so simple, but I think most of us, especially me, I don't have an IT background, and this is amazing for me, and I'm just like really really curious.
Yes.
And you walk through these things like it really doesn't mean anything because you know things, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
No,
sorry,
so
I was really curious to know, like,
whatever
so
it is, yeah. See, this could be a very, very valid question from you, Krishna. But what I'm saying is keep everything aside first, right? Let us come with a very plain, clean slate. Okay. So the course, this is like I want to show you the art of possibilities that we are trying to do, and in this space we are trying to go with the journey. This is a very simple one. If I can explain you in another 30 minutes, and everybody 50 people in this particular meeting can able to create. Okay. This is an open source one. I'll show you like, okay, this is open source workflow and all, but this will have some limitations. Now, what we are going to understand is, now, what is the science behind it? How it is trying to understand certain occurrences, how it is able to call backend models, what is the entire framework looks like. Now, somebody from a tech and from a non-tech both has to come to some certain point to understand, how do I reimagine this, and then how do I create applications for my own company, or could learn this and get a job, or could learn this, upgrade yourself. So a lot of those possibilities are there, right?
So you're saying this workflow, I mean, again, I'm interested to know what workflow that is, but without knowing any, AI models or AI related background, you think anyone can create this workflow?
Yes. Answer is yes.
Okay. Okay.
If you asked me 3-4 years back, I would have said no, but now it is yes. But this will only have certain kind of limitations, right? Okay, it can only do some things, but the purpose here is we need to understand deeper concepts of it. Like people from who are listening to me right now, they might be from tech background. Okay, they might be, say, Java developers, or already familiar with Python. They want to know how to do AI, data science, machine learning, or maybe some senior folks who are, okay, understand tech. Now I want to create something, okay, for my company, my team, and things like that. So I would deep dive into different people profiles as and when I go into the course, and then we will curate our path. But at this moment, what I'm saying is, yes, it is possible. All right. Any questions? But generally, I would recommend you guys to put it in the chat window.
If you could give the tool name, that would be great.
Yeah, no, this is just a test based example. Whoever that is asking, we are not getting into the presentation
I just
yet.
wanted to add some context, sir, to help out. So how we see as a notepad or a Canva tool, we use it to create posters, right?
Yeah.
We don't exactly code in Canva. We just create posters.
Yeah.
It is the same thing sir is explaining right now. this is not very specific tool. That is an internet interface that sir is using. That's all.
I really think I'll email you, Mahesh. Just shoot me your email and all that stuff, and you'll be able to do things. And
My name is Sitaram. Okay, I just took the example of Mahesh Babu, but
I apologize for starting this entire thing, and I think this is all digressing towards what API tool we have, or whatever stuff that is, instead of focusing on how we could use AI, and that's the first thing, right?
Yes.
And I apologize for initiating that digressness, and
No problem.
yeah.
Let us continue. No problem, guys. Okay. So generally, just a rule of thumb, what I would recommend during my classes is, if you have any question, put that question in the chat. Okay. It would be easy. It will not interrupt the flow. Okay. So don't mind me. I am not saying don't ask questions, but when we are trying to have any question or something simple, we can put it in the chat. I will know like what questions are coming, and then I'll answer as and when it goes, and then it purely blends in the flow. Okay, that's how I do it. Okay, so this is an example. That's the reason I'm saying. So I don't want to start with my boring presentation and say, okay, this is what and all, but I wanted to actually give you a little bit of a tint about what we are going to explore during the course, so that we understand the art of possibilities. Okay, question answer sessions will be done pure Q&A. I will have it at the end of the session every day, so that if you want to talk to me, ask more deeper questions, I'll spend like 15 minutes at the end of every session to exclusively for the Q&A, where you can ask questions and I can answer them. But if you have like simple doubts or something, put that in the chat. I will take them and blend it through the course. Okay, so let us get into the presentation. I have a small presentation, demystifying AI, the next AI, next frontier. I just gave this name. I hope you are able to see my screen. Say yes.
Yeah.
Presentation, you're able to see?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so now what we are understanding is this data analysis, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. There are 100 different terms, but this data analysis was there for many years. It is not very new. It is nothing like it started, a few years back and so on. There were a lot of experiments which were conducted. Lot of theory research happened to understand how do I curate data, how do I make business intelligence systems, how do I apply algorithmic process to extract insights from the data, and then how do I present it in a meaningful format. So this research didn't start a few years back. It started almost a century ago, I would say. And but now we are in a phase where we are trying to understand these terms like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, agentic process, and so on. Now it is very important for us because the terms and the technology itself are becoming so available to the general public, that even I was taking an example that our Prime Minister of India took, if you have heard his speech, he was talking about artificial intelligence. He was talking about how LLM models can be used for generating images, but those images are biased and it is not giving the real sense. There's a lot of work to be done and so on. So if you've not heard, just go spend a few minutes. You'll just see the speech. But what I'm saying is AI has become so available to the mass market that anybody with somebody with a very basic knowledge will be able to create something, use something, and do. Now it becomes very important for technologists that while this trend is changing, in whichever area of life I am. Maybe I am a developer, maybe I am a tester, maybe I am working in a mainframe, maybe I'm working in as a product manager, scrum master, or a lead. It is becoming very evident for us to have an understanding of what this AI is, how to blend this technology within my organization or within my nature of work. Now, just to understand about these terms, AI, machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, as I said, it is very old thing. It started somewhere around 1950s and so on, where the term AI was coined. And the primary purpose was like, how do I make computers do the work of humans? There are certain things which can be automated. And if I can automate those things and make the computer do the work of humans, then humans can do much bigger tasks, right? That was the primary purpose. So they're trying to enable computers. So that's the reason they gave the term artificial intelligence. So you don't have to provide any real essence intelligence, but it is trying to understand from the data, from the patterns, and then can do certain tasks. No, it is purely based on some if then else logic, some decision trees, and some kind of fuzzy logic based conditions, and based on which the computer program used to do certain operations. Then came machine learning. Now, machine learning is the subset of artificial intelligence. Now, what it is trying to do is, if I have large volumes of data, applying certain rules becomes very tough. You will not be able to identify rules and patterns when the volume of data is quite heavy. So that's when people started creating algorithms, statistical techniques, which will be able to skim through the large volumes of data and try to understand patterns. Now, if you can understand the patterns, based on the patterns, we will be able to create some meaningful predictions, meaningful outputs, and so on. That is machine learning. Now, then came deep learning. Now, deep learning is a subset in area of machine learning, which not only works with textual data, but it is also working with speech data, image data, multi-model we call, right? So combination of text, video, images, all of them coming together. So we need to understand how these algorithms, right? So when I use ChatGPT, it's very easy for me to just type something and then it is trying to depict my understanding and give me the answer. But there's a lot of things going in the back end saying like how this text is converted, how a text is converted into an image. And all that stuff requires a lot of computational algorithmic power. So we will understand about, how these neural networks are created and how it can understand the conversion of a specific textual information into something like an image or a video or even beyond that. Okay. Now, after deep learning in the recent years, we are also understanding generative AI. Generative AI is the subset of deep learning. Now, what generative AI says is like, how do I create content? Generative is the name. So generative AI says like, you try to create content from the existing information. Previous models like machine learning, deep learning are very subjective in nature, where it tries to do certain kind of actions. Say like, I want to predict the loan eligibility amount. How do I do that prediction? Given all my parameters like my bank balance, my earning capabilities, the liabilities I have, the existing loans I have. Given all these parameters, it is very deterministic in nature that I can predict whether the person can get a loan or not. This is a very simple task. But when we are going into non-deterministic or stochastic based models, where I want to generate some kind of new thing, right? So for example, I read an entire newspaper today, and then I want to summarize that newspaper into 5 bullet points, right? I have attended this meeting in the morning. There was a lengthy 2-hour meeting, and I have the transcript. Now I want to create a MOM, minutes of meeting, saying that who participated, what were the key actions, who spoke about what, and then what are the key actions to be taken, and what are the next steps for our next meeting. Imagine I want to create something like that. It becomes something called as generative in nature. So that is being used by the Gen AI, generative AI part of it. Now we are also in today's example, we also saw that there are agents. Now I can create agent. Now this agent is not only intelligent enough, but it can also do some tasks. Say like booking an appointment, booking my calendar, calling or sending an email, and doing certain kind of tasks, right? So sky is the limit for the way in which we can imagine how this technology is used. I'm very, very optimistic on the use of this technology and the way it can change our working in the coming years. Okay. So why this all happened? So I just take a little back step on going back to 1950s, 1970s, and so on. In those years, there were two major AI winters. AI winter is nothing but somebody thought that AI is going to change the world. It is going to eat all the jobs, and it is going to disrupt the industry. But it went into a winter. So it happened around 1975. Initial AI hype years was around 1960 and so on, where people started creating these artificial intelligent bots where they will try to do some work of humans. But what happened is during that phase, the first AI winter around 1975, is that they didn't have the right amount of data. So while they were trying to create some algorithms, but they didn't have data, so because of which they were not able to reap the benefits of AI. Then came the second AI winter around 1990s. Around 1980s and 1990s, what happened is people created the image computer vision based algorithms. So given for example, a postal card, it can determine what is the zip code from the postal card. It can determine the address. It can determine handwritten text. So there was a lot of research happened during that time. Then people thought that, okay, because this is, computers can do all this recognition stuff, and then again, it is going to change the world. But around 1990s, what happened is the second AI winter came where the data was available, but the compute was not available. Now, three important things are very, very crucial for doing all this large volume AI processings. First one is availability of data. Second one is availability of compute. And the third one is availability of algorithms. Now, we are in a phase around 2025 right now, where people are skeptical whether this AI is going to stay. Is it a myth or is it going to burst? And all that doubts are there. Now, what I say is we are in a very sweet spot where we have enough amount of data. Now, thanks to large volumes of data ingestion possibilities, we can get data from mobile, we can get data from websites, click streams, internet devices, and all whatnot. We have large volumes of data. We also have large volumes of compute, thanks to big data, thanks to cloud computing and different other possibilities we have at this moment, where with a click of a button, we can spin up a GPU instance and run my algorithm on that and do a lot of processing. And also, very, very important is the large volumes of algorithmic process. Now, and when algorithms are coming, if you're following the trend, you see every other day people are trying to create algorithms. You might have heard the news of DeepSeek. You might have heard the news of Qwen 2.5 Max, which also beat DeepSeek. And when the DeepSeek was released, the market tumbled almost. Whoever invested in NVIDIA like lost thousands of dollars. Now, what is happening there is these algorithms, which were very, very closed source previously, are now being open source. I can download a DeepSeek model, and during the course, we will see like how I download my DeepSeek model, run my DeepSeek model on my Mac M1. Even if you have a regular PC, you will be able to see it, how I can run. And we're going to understand like how I can create my own bot, which can customize my documents, do all that processing and so on. So the third important one which I was talking is the availability of algorithms, the way different companies are trying to make these algorithms accessible so that I can quickly develop applications using that. So there are two school of thoughts. The first one is how do I do research and how do I create algorithms, which is done by bigger companies, the Googles of the world, the Amazons of the world, the Alibabas of the world are trying to create these algorithms. And the second school of people who are doing applied artificial intelligence. Now, most predominantly 95% of the people fall under the second category, where I have a business problem. For example, I'm from a bank, so I have a large workflow in my bank. So we have a customer journey. Now I wanted to see like how do I automate this customer journey, put AI so that it can reduce some toil within a certain life cycle of my banking process. So that is called as applied AI. Applied AI, where we are trying to apply already existing algorithms. We have tons of data and then putting all that thing together and trying to create an application. So we will quickly skim through some of the examples. I can take a lot of time discussing on this, but let me quickly discuss on some of the important examples. So now when I was talking about we have large volumes of data, primary data for applied AI is transactional data, right? When I say applied AI, that means that I have some algorithms I want to apply to my data and then try to get benefit. I'm not doing great research. I'm not inventing algorithms, but I wanted to know like how do I apply this AI so that I will reap benefit out of it. So primary data which is used is called as transactional data. Now transactional data is your regular brick and mortar company data, where say if I take retail, it can be like how many customers came to the store today, what did they purchase, how many liters of milk was sold, how many bags of bags of tissue paper was sold, or how much dal, how much rice, how much wheat was sold, or how much sugar was sold. So all these information which becomes transactional in nature. So if any customer purchases say like one bottle of milk, then that becomes a transaction, goes and sits into our relational databases, and then we can create systems where we can ingest that relational data and then run algorithms on top of it, which can give us more predictive power, right? Now, with generative AI and other things, we are trying to create more natural language like interface where the CEOs who previously used to look at dashboards like Tableau dashboards or ClickView dashboards now are able to do natural language query and saying like, which stores are in demand for milk, which stores are having a lot of demand for electronic goods and so on. And then it can do the queries in the backend, get back information and show a little customized dashboard for them. And people are now building such kind of applications. Other important applications which are in the space of audio and experimental data. Now, world is moving towards something called as no UI. No UI in sense you do not have a application, you do not have to click a button on your mobile, you do not have to go to a website, but using just a speech. If I can just talk something and then the speech can convert into text, text can convert into an actions as we just saw in our model thing, and it can call an agent, it can do certain tasks. So that is how the world is moving. You might be very familiar with Alexa, Siri, and so on. Those are, I can give a command saying like, what is weather today? And it has to understand that entire utterance. convert that into a command, call an API, get back the information, convert the information into a meaningful text saying that today is 30 degrees centigrade in Hyderabad, right? So it has to do all that stuff in behind the scenes. But now that is like simply asking about weather, but can we convert all those things into a applications? Now, coming years, we will see a lot of robots moving along with us. We will be talking with those robots saying that, okay, do certain things. Do you remember my Aadhaar number and so on? So all these things will happen in the coming years, and the purpose is going into a no UI based interfaces, which uses a lot of AI behind the scenes. There's also a lot of experimental data which is being collected. Experimental data is like, space research. For example, how do I send satellites to space? How do I gather more information from my weather satellites, gathering a lot of information, image information, and converting that into some meaningful outcomes for benefit of humanity. It can be earth science, it can be oceanic research, it can be seismic earthquake detection systems. So a lot of these other experimental systems are also collecting a lot of information. It's not only pure play applications, but also these research agencies are collecting a lot of data, and using that data, we are applying AI to determine best outcomes. If you ask me what is the latest and greatest experimental research done with AI, that is COVID-19 vaccine. If you know, the time it requires for creating vaccines is quite high. It takes a lot of time for creating vaccines, but now with a lot of advent of AI, data science and machine learning, they have cut down the what we call as the drug testing time. Drug testing time was cut by drastically, almost like 75-80%, so that they can ship the vaccines much faster and do the quick human trials. Another interesting areas, it's like video and image-based analytics. There's a lot of video and image-based analytics happening. You might have heard about Sora, and there are a lot of other websites. I will show you free websites which can create images based on your text. So you could create images, you could create videos, and so on. And the technology which is again used behind it is like, how do I blend AI, generative AI, for understanding natural language, converting into meaningful outcomes, and then creating something which humans have not visualized yet, right? While the information which is created at this moment, the images and videos are looking artificial, but as the time progresses, I'm very confident that we will have better models, we will have better techniques in which we can do processing, and we can create more interesting or more human-like images and videos. And we're also seeing that there's a lot of push towards media industry, especially like movie industry, where we can create movies just with some script, right? If I feed the script of the entire movie to an application, it can create a movie, and then it can create like a 2-hour movie for us, right? So that's where a lot of research is happening right now. Okay, so other data types, a lot of data types are there. So we have graphs and charts and different kinds of representations in which we can gather this information and create some meaningful algorithms out of it. Okay, so I just wanted to stop here a little bit. I wanted to ask you if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, I have one question. So you said we can create our own language models earlier, using the DeepSeek, whatever the open source, right?
Yeah.
Now, the problem is I could use those algorithms, or I can use those open source, but where do we get the underlying data to train my models to be able to accurately represent the outputs?
Okay, very, very important question. So there are two parts of it. Now, these models, underlying models, have already trained on millions of parameters. So if my requirement is generic, right? For example, I have a huge legal document and I want to condense this legal document, create questionnaire out of the legal document, or search legal document, or update the legal document. Okay, so I give 3 or 4 use cases already, right? Just for example, I'll take one use case that I have a huge legal document, and my job is every day I have to find out what are the amendments. For example, 2000 rupees note is disconnected. This is an amendment and no longer applicable. For this amendment, I have to go and amend in my legal document at 20 different places. Now, using my human intelligence, I have to go skim through the document, which is a 200-page document, and I have to put my amendments in appropriate places, change the entire document structure so that it is more legible, understandable, and so on. And then finally create an updated legal document. Okay, this is my job, okay? And I've been paid thousands of dollars for doing this. Can I use a model to do this work? Using your regular DeepSeek-like models, we can do it, right? So which doesn't require more, what I mean to say, contextual information.
So you're saying that it trained, but on a real-time basis, if it needs to read when the 2000 rupees note was discontinued, that means that information has to be real-time, analyzed by the DeepSeek, whatever that model is. That you're saying that will internally connect to some sort of using some API or whatever to get the information from their systems?
No, it doesn't do. It doesn't do. So that's what I'm saying. There are two pieces of your question. First one is, can I use a model for doing some tasks, right? So I give this example that imagine I have 1-page document itself, okay? 1-page legal document where I have to amend a new amendment. As an example, I told 2000 rupees note is disconnected, okay? That is an amendment. It can be a lot of amendments which will come, right? So if that information has to be amended in the document, my legal document, that work can be done by a AI agent, like a DeepSeek and so on. How do we do it is a different thing. But what I'm saying is, without having any context or information, prior information, given an amendment, given an input document, I will be able to.
Basically, it's all prompt. You prompt it and it creates something.
Yes,
which
yes.
Basic thing. Like it's a 5-year-old child with a brain of Albert Einstein.
Yeah. So
and
that's
you
the
train
first
it,
part. Yeah.
and it gets into, it learns really quick.
Right. So that is the first part of the equation. Now, second part of the equation is, I have something very contextual. I have something very, very, very niche to my industry. Okay. And I only have that information. Now, I don't have that information outside available. I only have that information. This is proprietary to me. And this is the information. I only have it. Then what we do is we do something called as fine tuning. That means that I already take a model. I say that, okay, you have ABC information, but please take this XYZ information, which I have, and then combine both of them and then act on it. Now that process is called as fine tuning, which is more applicable for enterprises, industries. For example, my industry is banking. So it is very, very applicable for me. I don't want to push my legal information outside. I do not want to use any open source or a cloud-based models. but I want to fine tune my model and then create something locally so that it's very contextual to my information, is very contextual to my financial documents, which I have, financial APIs, which I can call, and so on. Did you understand?
No, I mean, here is my confusion, right? Generically, we are all talking about generic.
My data, how do I condense my data? How do I feed the data to a model? The mechanisms in which I call model, the mechanisms in which I do predictions and connect with some kind of a UI which can show all this information, right? So for that, we need to understand some of the basics. So the course is structured in such a way that we will spend few days just on the philosophy of AI. So I will eat few of your brains to understand where we are going, to understand the bright side of it. Then we'll get into the meat of the subject. I would like to get into more code rather than into presentations. Probably you will only see 2 or 3 presentations during the entire way. And but we will get into more of a code-based things, right? So that would require you to understand the basics of Python, what libraries are required for Python, and even if you do not have a basic thing, you will be able to learn through this 2 months of course.
Sitaram, this is Harish. I have a question. Can I go ahead, please, now?
Yes, please.
By the way, thank you for hosting this session. This is my second time doing this course. Question I have is, in the past, when I attended the same course, you presented material sample code using Google Colab. And the videos the recordings were provided in the, I think, Google Drive. Do you intend to follow the same model, or is there a way we can?
Times have changed. I think those are the old days when we were following the older methods. There will be some overlap, Harish, about classical machine learning, but the entire course curriculum is revised because now we are getting into no code methodology. We are getting into generative AI, agentic AI, and so on. So I think the focus is more on that side. And then we will tone down. For example, I don't have to learn a lot of natural language processing. I don't have to learn about, how do I extract noun, pronoun, intent, and so on, right? So that kind of requirement is not there because I can directly use some functions and so on. So while
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I'm actually cognizant of the time as well. Sorry to interrupt you, but my question was slightly different. Definitely love the course content. It has tremendously changed compared to the last time. That's the reason I'm redoing this course. But my main reason to ask the question was, last time the difficulty I had was recordings and code sometime were in different folders. So it was hard for me to find a video with a corresponding Colab file. If you could make it more simpler, having probably, like, let's say certain day we have a session, if the recording and the code can be provided in such a way that they're in the same folder, that will make my life easy, because I need to refer to the code in the future for a long time. These are difficult courses. That's the reason I was
Those
asking.
are logistics. I completely understand, Harish.
Yes,
so the logistic related things, I'll make sure that, this time we have it properly organized.
Much appreciated. That's all I'm looking for. You are great. You are awesome. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Hey, Sitaram, this is Sai here. Oh, sorry. Someone is talking. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi, Sitaram. Good morning. Previously I have experience Java backend like Java 8 and Spring Boot and microservices and PCF and AWS Azure. I have knowledge and move to on AI and ML. Some people call AI and ML, some people call AI and generic AI, some people data science. So little bit I have confused. Can you please explain?
I think we need to have a bigger session on that. But just imagine that AI is an umbrella term. This is like a concept, right? AI is a concept. When we really get our hands dirty, we need to say, like, how do I bring data, right? which tables I need to call. How do I merge that information? How do I use libraries to get insights from the data? And how do I serve that data as a model? So there are all these different Lego blocks, right? So the way to connect these Lego blocks, we generally use data science. Now, data science will have a lot of these Python-based applications, Python-based models, Python-based inferences, and so on. Now, generative AI goes a little further where it says, okay, this everything is good, but can I use natural language based processing for doing some of this processing, right? So that is where it comes from. I will have one session especially on this topic to get a deeper understanding. But just to understand, AI is a umbrella term. It's a concept. It does not have more technical inclination, right? So if you go technical, then it goes to
Yeah,
machine
and one
learning.
more little bit knowledge, and is it development or reporting?
It is a development, yeah. It also have reporting,
Development.
but primarily it is into a development side.
Okay, inconvenience. Okay. So please make session in a polite way. I request everyone. And also
Sorry,
important info.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Most important question. What will be the timings of this course weekly? Could you
Yeah,
share?
I'm about to give those details only. The regular sessions will be starting from Wednesday IST.
Got
That
it.
falls
Thank
on
you.
5th March IST time. And the timings would be from 7 to 8 a.m. IST. And I will share all those details today by the end of the day, along with today's session recording also I will share. So if anyone is connected newly, because most of the people they have forwarded to their friends, and we don't have their details to share session recording and even batch starts details also. So I request all the people whomever connected newly, okay. So please share your mail ID and contact so that we can coordinate with you. We can share all those details to you.
Yeah,
Today by the
quick
end of the
question.
day.
Quick
Hey,
question,
Sita.
and Lakshmi, this
Yeah.
is Vidya. So I think
Tell
I'm
me.
not sure how many folks are there in the Eastern time zone. Next week it's gonna be a time change for us starting 9th. So 7 on means it will be like 9:30 for us in the evening, and we have to
Okay.
go to work in the next day, like with all the changes that are going on. I work for federal government,
Yeah.
so it's going to be challenging for me to go to work the next day. So is there any way they can just a little bit push probably to
So as of now
6:30?
we have only one slot. As of now we have only one slot. We can discuss those details. I'll coordinate with you. If you share your details,
Okay,
I'll
sure.
keep in touch with you and we can discuss those
Okay,
details later. Okay.
sure.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Yeah.
Hello,
Sitaram,
Sitaram. So I have one question. Like, how much are we focusing on the basics, like, I mean, visualization or some basic data manipulations and stuff?
So this would be a technical course. So it will start from basics of Python, required for data science and machine learning, and then it will go deeper into how do you build models and how do you build generative AI and agentic AI applications and so on. So you have to keep pace. So nothing is easy, I would say. You know, if you think it's very, very easy to grab everything, then, rest assured. But what I will do is ensure that we start from very, very basic, and then gradually we'll pick up pace and get into building applications. That's how it would be. It would be an everyday class of weekdays, right? So everyday weekdays. So I am in Indian Standard Time, so it will be my morning. So if you are in an EST or a PST, it would be in your evening. So every day evening you will have a class.
Actually, I'm also in India right now, so
Then
yeah.
then it will be your yeah.
Yes.
Then will be your
Yeah, Sitaram, Sai here. So you said right. I have gone through the course in Udemy and I found like there are some 30 to 33 regression models. So how many models we are covering in this course?
Yeah. So my philosophy is that once you have a taste of certain thing, you don't
Okay.
have to actually go every model and then understand. Okay. The
Okay.
purpose is like we will understand how do you use a specific model. So we'll cover few regression models, the ones which are
Okay.
used in the industry. Okay. I don't have to learn linear regression, which is just theoretically understandable and not actually applicable, right? So that if you have any questions, then we'll, as we go through the course, we'll change the trajectory. But according to my experience, whichever is important, we will go. Udemy
Yeah.
courses, you could go and get it, but they will not exactly tell you what is important for the industry, is what my personal view. Okay.
Oh no, it's my personal interest. So I was going through and I was started, the basic linear regression.
Yes, yes.
And I see some of the interview points, they will ask the basics questions to the, so that's why this question came forward to you. That's why I asked. So how many models we are covering? And as you know, we will follow you. How Sitaram, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know much on, but okay. Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Hi, Sitaram. Good morning. A quick question.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if usually when I research about this machine learning and AI thing, mostly I see a part of algorithm and application of probability stat and remaining other parts of math. By any chance, do we cover this or else do we apply those things in any of our concepts?
No, I used to teach math also, but now I think probably this time I'm thinking probably I'll skip that part. But we'll see the interest of audience.
So
there
yeah,
is a section of math for data science also,
yeah,
but
that's what I
it
was
becomes too
wondering.
much for somebody and too less for somebody, right? So
Okay.
I need to gauge that understanding, right? Somebody who knows the application side of it, they're not really worried about the underlying nuts and bolts. For them, it will be a waste of time. So we will gauge the audience, and then based on that, we'll take that.
I was just wondering how much part, like, is it a core concept of machine learning, or else is there other different branch of machine learning?
Yeah, it is a core concept, but for example, for an applied data scientist, they do not care about, what algorithm is used and how the algorithm is behaving at a mathematical level, right? So if you are a research scientist, then it makes more sense because I want to tune the research side of it and then make the algorithm better. So it is case to case basis. Okay. So
okay, then it's like, is it too deep to think right now, or else like is that aligned with that course? Is that okay, fine? Like if it's half of the course is completed, then we get to understand how this math and all.
Once you, for example, I say linear regression is a topic. Okay, we understand how to apply linear regression. I am able to build models on my financial data or my retail data, and then I'm getting predictions. But now I want to understand how linear vectors look like, how they work. That is a different topic. So probably that will not aid you into the application part of it, but it will solidify your understanding of how linear regression works, how it is better than some other model, and so on. So it is a complementary thing. We will do it as and when it is required. Okay.
Thank you, Sita.
Yeah, those are some basic statistics formulas, right?
Yes. Statistics for data science. It is covered in the course. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Sitaram, if you already covered such things in the previous classes, so if you release those videos into the same available to these sessions as well, so whoever is required, then that can be they can be acquired those classes, right?
Maybe what I'll do, so it's not, those are older. So I used to teach with Career IT for almost now, I think 1.5 to 2 years back. So it's very good thing that people remember my name and then come back. So
you taught Sitaram 4 years back. I did my first course in 2020.
Yeah. So I think, I used to teach. So because I was quite busy with my work and all, I took a little break, but now I'm committed to get my research done in my PhD. So this particular sessions will also help me. So that was my personal interest, not for money for sure. And
then it's our turn to grasp as much as possible from your side, from your end.
So see, the recordings are a little old. So what I would promise you guys is I'll create some course content and then provide it to Career IT. So they'll host that recordings, which are like, say, deep mathematical concepts and all. probably you can refer whoever is interested, they can refer. And then we can flow through the actual course curriculum, which is more applied in nature, right?
Thanks, Sitaram.
All right. So one question. So do we need coding background to pursue this course, IT program manager? So a question is direct question asked to me. It would require coding knowledge. It would need to have a basic understanding of language, especially Python. Even if you do not have deeper coding expertise, but I'm sure you will be able to grasp. From a project manager, product manager perspective, it is becoming more essential because I have close to 20 years of experience, and I am literally seeing the experience firsthand that people who do not have technical inclination are at risk. So I would urge anybody who is in the project product management side of it to have one leg in the technical side. Okay, you do not need to code. We don't code, but we need to have a understanding of what is the technology, how do we use it, what are the terms and utilizations, how to steer this into a product. So the term technical product manager or technical managers, those are the ones who will stay. If you are a pure play project manager, pure play IT manager, I would strongly urge that you have to put one leg on the technical side. Okay. And I'm clearly seeing a lot of trend changes and things like that in the market. So it is very, very important for us to have our base strong. So it requires coding, but I will ensure that it goes from a very, very base perspective to building stronger applications.
Yeah, hi, Sitaram. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, just I don't waste your time. Just 2 minutes. Theoretically, I ask to you. Can you please? Can you open that notepad?
Notepad, which notepad?
Yeah. Just 2 minutes. Theoretically, I ask to you. General information.
You're asking. You want me to open a notepad?
Yeah, notepad. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Can you write that one? AI and generative AI.
What is the question?
Yeah. I will tell you. Generative AI and AI and ML. AI and ML. Machine learning, deep learning, and
Apologies. What is the question? I'm sorry if you have.
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking.
Python.
No. I write all these things. What is the question?
Yeah, my question is, can you explain the flow? Where exactly using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning? For example, like one scenario, just one POC, Spring Integrated API using MySQL. So I understand the scenario, but in this concept, where did you have used a little bit confusion? So just theoretically,
No. I think you have to come to my other sessions also. Please come to my other sessions. Definitely,
Okay.
I'll ensure that because it will take its own time for me to get deeper into it and talk about it, right?
Okay.
Few sessions, I will ensure that you'll get the clarity because now it is. I will take another half an hour for explaining that.
Yeah, understood. These concepts are very important. But
Yes.
where did you use a little bit confused, so that's why theoretically I asked you.
I
Okay,
think
no
this is the
problem.
first session. Sorry. So this is the
Yeah.
first session. So I think
Yeah.
too early for that.
Okay.
Alright.
Is there any relation AI and generative AI?
Yes. Very, very much relation. It's all related only.
Okay. Same or different AI and generative AI?
AI is I said, no, it is an umbrella term. It's a concept. Generative AI is one of the subset of it.
Okay. AI and machine learning involved in
They
data
also
science?
have the same way.
Data science also.
Yes.
Data science.
This slide, I hope you were there when the slide was.
Yeah.
So
Artificial and machine learning, deep learning.
yeah.
But data science, where did you use involved in data science?
Data
In this
science
area?
cut across the entire equation. So it is like the programmatic requirement for doing all these things.
Okay. And one more, you have used in Python. So, but I don't have knowledge in Python. So already I have knowledge in one technology like Java. So at that, I didn't use in Python. I have used in Java. Is it okay?
If you have any programming language, it will be good. Okay, doesn't need to know about Python, but if you have any programming language, it is good. Even if you don't have any programming language, say like I'm from testing background, I am from mainframe, or I am pure play project manager. For them also, I want you guys to put your hands, make your hands dirty, and you have to give me 2 months of time. I said, right, 5 hours every week, and then I'll ensure that you guys get converted into a technical person.
Yeah. Previously, I asked you that one report or API development. So you told me API development also involved. So purely development, AI.
Yes.
Not in admin.
Not admin, yes.
Directly development APIs. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so any other questions?
Hi, Sitaram. This is Frank. I run a consulting company in US. So my guys also in the meeting, and I also joined, and I really appreciate your time taking demo. But there are many people don't have any knowledge on the stuff whatever you talked till now. But it is little high level to them for few people. But moving forward, it will be from basics to till now, or it will be not. It will be the same high level whatever we are discussing today.
No, it will go from basics to advanced level, Frank. So as and when we understand the basics, the speed of the course will change as per the understanding of students. Okay, that's how it will be going. And if they
You know
require,
how the working is. The recent graduates. We want to give technology training so that they can get any job in future. So this has a lot of future scope getting a job in this technology. So I wish your training will be going from basics and high level. But in the meanwhile, I know that there are some experienced candidates like project managers or owners. They want to be trained in the same technology as well. But for them, it will be very low standard basic. They think that there is a lot of time waste for them. How you can cover both the things in the
So
same.
Frank, I have dealt with hundreds of batches for sure.
Okay.
So I understand that pulse, both freshers and experience. So I generally blend that, my style of doing it, blend it, and then take it forward and pace it accordingly to the audience. So I'll do my best, I will say. If there are some deeper requirements, then what I will generally do is I'll ask students to reach out to the coordinators so that I can take any extra, for them separately, something like that, right? If somebody needs more detailed or more basic level, then we can see, right?
Got it. Yeah. Thank you for that.
So there's one important question: which roles can I choose after completing this course? Okay, so the roles generally, there are machine learning engineer, data scientist, senior data scientist, data analyst, AI engineer, generative AI applied scientist. So these are the roles. Okay, again, depending upon the market we are in, what I generally ask people to do is, while they are doing the course, I want them to research in the area they are in. For example, imagine I am in Seattle, US. I want to understand what type of companies are there, what roles they are asking, where do we have the right fitment, what is my prior skill, how I can blend my prior skill to the newer requirement, and what exercises I need to do. So I want you guys to do that level of research. Okay, I know that this is your hard-earned money, this is your hard-earned time, you're spending that. But unless until you do this work, I would not recommend you guys to do any course. Okay, not even my course, but any course. We have to commit ourselves to get that. The roles are there. I'll clearly list down the roles. Okay, these are the 4 or 5 different roles we can target. But you yourself have to do that research. Go to Indeed.com, go to Naukri.com, go to whatever product sites, and then see like which roles are there, which companies are offering it, where do you pitch yourself to those roles, and then it will be fruitful. For that, whatever is required, I'll give my 100%. Okay. This is the question.
One basic question. Actually, I attended many. I did my master's also in AI, and I'm like doing all this stuff. But my basic question is, like after completing the course, like at what level are we ready for the industry? I mean, I know we need to put our efforts, but like, uh, just course perspective, how? I mean, are we ready for the market or something like that?
So that's what probably we can do something like I would recommend like a mentoring kind of a sessions individually, because this is a case on case basis. Somebody who is doing your MS, doing your completing your say like H1 just started work, the course is different and the where they will fit is different. Somebody is already an experienced program manager. Now they wanted to get into a head of data science or something like that. So for them, the route will be different. So I would recommend to have more like a one-on-one or maybe at least a group kind of a session for that kind of a discussion, right? We could have at different points of time, because as I said, we need to have some preparatory research work which you guys have to do so that you can fit yourself into that market quickly. And then we can track the progress over the 2 months, and it will go beyond 2 months, okay, for you, whoever is trying that. The course requires 2 months, 2.5 months, but your preparation, your readiness will take maybe like 3 months or 4 months, depend upon your speed. But if I start thinking in the direction right from the day one, say like where do I want to fit myself, which job roles I want to target, where is my market? If I do that research work, it will ease out your entry time. I hope that is.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you.
So there's a question that any certification you would suggest. If you ask me for certifications, I would say they are worthless. Okay. And pardon my words, because I am a strong believer of core product, core technology work. What I would recommend, by end of this course, you need to have at least 10 projects in your GitHub account, where you can confidently say that, okay, this is what I executed, this is how the world works, this is how the technology goes. And those projects should talk on your behalf. Even if you have some certifications, I can give you some certifications. Some are free, some are paid ones, and so on. Those are pure, pure sheet of paper, or now literal a PDF, right? So I would, if you ask me, I would not recommend that. Don't spend time, money on those things. What is required is you want to know how to do real work. You have to have a bunch of projects under your belt, put them in resume, put them on your GitHub account. When you face interviewer, you should be able to articulate it with clear clarity. If you're able to do it, I'm sure every one of you will get whatever job or change you're requiring.
No, as much as I agree with you, but a lot of recruiting happens with the recruiters filtering these certifications on your resume.
Yeah, so I can target them and show them like what we could do, but
No, I get it. Yeah, I like the alternate approach. Your projects should speak, or demonstrate your level of expertise, right? Yeah.
All right. I think we have spent a lot of time. Apologies if it shooted. Okay, it's already 1.5 hours. So apologies if it shooted a little more. If you have any questions, I'll be here for a few more minutes. We can discuss. If you do not have any questions, please drop off. Thank you very much for your time and have a nice weekend.
I see that I have a couple of questions.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So actually, I wanted to know what are the course topics? Do you have the agenda prepared already? Do you mind to share it with us?
Yes, our coordinators will send it to you. There's a draft agenda, but it will evolve over time.
Okay.
They will send it. I think.
Would there be any labs? Would there be any hands-on labs during the session?
Yeah, I am pure proponent of hands-on. I don't want to do any presentation, so every day will be hands-on, guys. So please be prepared for that. Okay. It can be basics to advanced, but it will be pure hands-on. Okay, you have to do labs. I will show you like how to do it on your laptop. I will show you how to set up a cloud account. How do you do using cloud? I want to do research. I want to bring newer topics and make this as practical as possible. Okay, so that is my intent. There will be assignments also. Please be prepared to go back to your college kind of days. There will be assignments. You have to do projects. As I was speaking to the previous question, right? We need to have projects. If we don't have projects, you just listen to me. You will have the kick that, okay, wow, this is great, but it will not help you anyway. I want you to do projects. I want you to put them on your resume. I want you to come up with alternative ideas, link it with your industry, blend it with your resume. Imagine you are from retail background. You have worked in oil and gas, or you worked in banking. I want you to blend that into your industry, say that this is how you have done. Then it will be very easy for you to project yourself for better jobs. Okay, and those projects we have to do, those projects executions we have to do in this next 2 months. Any other questions?
One more question. So actually, so we are having everyday class for 5 days, right? So if we are working like so class starts at 9:30. If it is 1.5 hour, it will be 11 by that time. End of the class, right? So the next day is a work day for us, and we don't know how much time we need to complete our works, whatever the lab work you give, and so how much time we need to spend before the next class.
Yeah, as I was saying, we need to dedicate a minimum 5 hours. So today is an exception because it's a introductory session, a lot of questions and so on. Generally, my class will end in 50 minutes. Okay, so 45 minutes will be the content, and then we will spend like 10 to 15 minutes for questionnaire. And if you are mostly these will be recorded also, so if you are familiar with questions, and if it doesn't drag beyond the 1 hour time frame, you can drop off, look at the recording. But what I'm saying is it will take 1 hour, so it will not drag till like today. Okay, so today is more like a lot of questions, a lot of discussions, right? So
Right, and other things, if we get any questions during doing the lab work, so is there any way that we can contact you?
Yeah, so there is a formal process. You will be reaching out to the coordinators, and then we'll have connects with them.
Yeah, thank you, Siddha.
But we'll be connecting every day, every weekday. So if you have any questions, also you can send that to me. No problem.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Another question from my side, Sitaram. Are you going to do this in any like a cloud platform? Do we need to set up cloud account for ourselves?
Yeah, now trend is changing, so we need to have cloud understanding. So we have cloud for data science also included in the curriculum. So at the start we don't need to set up any cloud, but when we get into the deployment, like how do I productionize my models and so on, that's where I'll be teaching you like how to deploy models into say AWS or GCP cloud. These are the two clouds which I am very expert in. So we'll talk
Sorry, I was just going to ask you about Azure. Are you going to use Fabric ML?
Yeah, I'm not very in Fabric, not experienced in that, but depending upon the requirement, I try to blend material in that. But I'll talk about more generic sense, like how do industry deploy models using cloud and what skills are required. And cloud is again a beast. There are a lot of things are involved. We don't need to know everything. We need to know what is required for a data scientist or a machine learning engineer. That piece we will learn.
Okay, thanks.
All right. I'm really glad that people are almost 35-40 people are waiting, still listening to me after spending 1.5 hours. Thank you for that. If you still have any questions, you can certainly reach out to the organizers. Some people have not registered directly. Probably that's the reason they did not get the curriculum and all that stuff. Please reach out to the organizers. They will help you to provide the basic information. We will have more sessions in the coming days to have. If you have any certain questions, you can solve them. But I think I would like to end the session. We're already beyond 1.5 hours.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sitaram. Yeah, thanks for your patience.
Thanks for your time, Sitaram.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.